I hate losing gunfights. That's why I've been on a quest for better aim. 2 weeks ago I started this challenge doing this practice routine around 3 times a day. If you don't remember from my last video, the 4 practice challenges within the routine are Bounce 180 tracking, Pat target switch, Vox target switch, and close fast strafes easy. So diving into the results from Bounce 180 tracking from week 2, definitely my most improved mode from week 1. No new PRs, but obviously the average is most important. The high scores are going to come with that. Overall though, I would say I've had super consistent progress. Average is up to 64.1, which is only a 2% of improvement, but it's up from my old score of 62.7. Happy to see that my minimum score is raised by 3 points. But to be honest, I think the reason why this challenge has my most consistent progress is because of the predictable movement within the challenge. All the other challenges have unpredictable movement, and this is the only one that I would consider has predictable. Then looking at pad target switch results, I was super happy with the progress that I made in this challenge this week. My max score went up as well as my minimum. My new max is up to 15,840, while my old max is at 15,210, which is around a 4% increase. But I would say most importantly, my average score has increased. My old score was 13,542.4, up to now 14,010, which is a little bit over a 3% gain. But the most important stat in this whole challenge is my minimum score has come up a long ways. So my minimum score from last week was 11,010, and now it's up to 12,360, which is over a 12% increase. To me, this is a big deal because that means in most gunfights, the worst I can do now has been raised. So that means fighting people, I now have a higher chance of winning even if I perform at my worst. I would really like to see the average start working its way towards 15,000, but it's a long road and I have a lot of practice left. It would be a sweet end goal to have it there though. Then moving on to the Vox target switch. So I stayed about the same for this challenge. My max score and average stayed about roughly the same. I ended up having a lower low score than last week, which is a little bit frustrating, but that's just how practice goes sometimes. You're just gonna have off weeks, not perform as well. But I'm not gonna let that get me down. I'll definitely perform better in the upcoming weeks. It's only week 2, so not gonna let myself get down on this yet. And then it's kind of a similar story for the close fast strafes easy. My max score stayed about the same. My biggest disappointment in this challenge is my average actually went down, which isn't the biggest deal. I mean, it only ended up losing around 100 points, but still it hurts to see me go in the wrong direction there. Overall though, my minimum score did go up quite a bit, which is really good. So obviously, like I said, for the pad target switch, it's good to see that now I'm not gonna be performing as bad, but I would have liked to see that I'm averaging a higher level of play. Keep in mind, this is probably the hardest challenge within the practice routine. The targets move ridiculously unpredictable from challenge to challenge. Some challenges it seems that they move more smooth and they're not as choppy with their movements, and then in other challenges to play the challenge it'll be very consistent instead of choppy, so it's really easy to track. I do think the results of the past week are a little misleading. I definitely feel like I'm more consistent even though my average doesn't show that. Looking forward to being able to prove that in the future with my future results. So if you're doing this challenge along with me, one thing I will say is don't get beat down by your low scores. There are going to be points of frustration when you're doing a challenge like this. You are not always going to be setting new PRs every time you play. There's going to be good days where you can set 2 to 3 PRs in different challenges, and there's going to be other days where you don't seem to be able to even hit your averages. You need to remember that you're building a skill that takes time to develop. You are literally working on your mind-muscle connection to try to see how good you can aim a plastic device on a piece of fabric, guiding a cursor on a screen. It's a very difficult thing to do, so don't let one bad session, one bad week get you down. Before I head out, I want to give you one piece of advice is when you feel that you're doing a challenge and you are setting what you think might be your lowest score where you're not performing well, just try to relax and almost treat it as like that's a good thing that, oh, okay, now I'm getting my low score out of the way. I probably won't do lower than this in the day, and if I do lower than the rest of the day, then that's okay. The more you can become even keel about doing bad or good, the more consistent you will play. The more you let your emotions affect the way you're practicing rather, the less improvement you're gonna make long term. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you're enjoying the challenge so far, please consider leaving a like and subscribing as it helps out the channel a lot, and I would love to post more content for you guys to enjoy. If you are doing the challenge, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear how you guys are doing, or even if you're not doing the challenge, just let me know how you're doing. Are you doing good? Are you doing bad? What's going on with you in life? But anyways guys, have a great rest of your day. Stay sexy. Peace.